Hello and welcome back to Terrier Nation. I'm your host, James Ninneman.
And I'm Lex Gargiulo. On this episode of Terrier Nation, Brooke Alessi brings us up to speed on men's ice hockey, while Eric Pepe catches us up on the Patriot League Track and Field Championships.
Caitlin Beal will let us know all about the women's ice hockey season, and finally, Mason Jablonsky and Henry Dinh-Price will give us the lowdown on basketball.
All this and more tonight on Terrier Nation.
After a tough loss in the Beanpot Finals, the men's hockey team has bounced back with 3 consecutive victories. The Terriers played a tied game against Providence, ending with a score of 2-2. The following day, they secured a decisive 5-2 win at Agganis Arena. Then on, the team swept the Yukon Huskies with impressive scores of 6-1 on Friday and 6-0 on Saturday, earning goaltender Matthew Caron his second shutout of the season. The team had no problem skating past Yukon. They headed down to Storrs, Connecticut, where 5 different Terriers contributed to a 6-1 victory over the Huskies, including freshman Macklin Celebrini, freshman Jack Harvey, sophomore Quinn Hudson, junior Jack Hughes, and sophomore Jeremy Wilmer. Celebrini stood out as the lone scorer of 2 goals and also earned 2 additional points with 2 assists. Goaltender Caron displayed exceptional skill throughout the game, stopping 26 out of 27 shots on net. The next day, the Terriers won their 3rd straight game, sweeping Yukon 6-0. Jeremy Wilmer had an outstanding performance, achieving a career high of 5 points. Caron was instrumental in the win, saving all 23 shots in net, allowing only 1 goal throughout the weekend, and stopping 49 out of the 50 shots he faced. The men's hockey team goes on to face Providence College on March 7th and Vermont on March 9th for senior night. That's it for men's hockey. Here's Pepe with the latest on the Patriot League Track and Field Championships.
Thank you, Brooke. The Patriot League's men's and women's indoor track and field championship took place on the weekend of the 24th and 25th. For both the men and women, the Navy midshipmen came out on top, dominating a multitude of events. For the women, the Terriers secured silver, while the Army West Point took home the bronze. The men had the exact opposite, with the Army in 2nd and BU in 3rd. Although it is hard to see our Terriers unable to win it all, it helps me sleep at night knowing that the only athletes to beat us are the future men and women serving our country. During the competition, 2 BU students were named Patriot League Scholar Athletes of the Year. Sophomore Via Schoberg gathered 30 of BU's 148 points and swept the mile, the 3K, and the 5K races. This is the first time in history a BU student has won all of the distance races, and she was also the meet's highest point scorer. The other scholar athlete was sophomore Freddie Collins. Collins came in 2nd for the men's 5K race and ran a meet record of 8:02 for a victory in the 3K, which I hear is just a little longer than what my dear friend James Ninneman ran in his prime. There were a total of 8 Patriot League indoor championship records broken at this meet this year. Some of these include the men's 400-meter dash, the men's distance medley, the women's triple jump, the women's pole vault, and many others. Many of these were broken by Navy, and as a result, the coach of the year for the men's and women's went to Jamie Cook of Navy, who actually coaches both teams. Overall, Navy had quite a successful weekend to say the least. I want to say a huge congratulations to all the winners, and I can't wait for the next Patriot League championship. Now let's throw it over to Caitlin with women's hockey.
Thanks, Pepe. The women's ice hockey team season ended with a 4-2 loss against Holy Cross in the opening round of the Hockey East Championship at Walter Brown Arena. BU ended the regular season ranked 7th in Hockey East with a 14-8-3 record. While the team did not perform their best this season, the roster is stacked with talent, especially the seniors who stepped up and made huge contributions to the team. Senior forward Lacey Martin was the top point scorer this year with 14 goals and 13 assists. Martin was an assistant captain and was named to the Hockey East second team All-Stars for the first time in her career. Multiple career highs were set by seniors, including forward Catherine Fulham, the second highest point scorer with 22 points, and defender Andy Calderon with 11 points. The Terriers' defense was strong this season, especially when it came to penalty kills. They are ranked 3rd in the NCAA with a 91% penalty kill rate. In 101 opportunities, the defense only allowed for 9 power play goals. Junior goalie Callie Shanahan missed 19 games at the beginning of the season due to a knee injury, but had an immediate impact upon returning. In her 13 games played this season, she had a save average of 91%. She will be a player to look out for next season. New head coach Tara Watchorn joined the coaching staff this season, replacing Brian DeRocher, who had been leading the team since its inception in 2004. Watchorn is a BU hockey alum and an Olympic gold medalist from 2014 with Team Canada. She was previously the head coach at Stonehill and brought with her assistant coach Megan Myers to BU. The underclassmen showed great promise this year to make significant contributions to the team. Sophomore forward Clara Yoon was the 3rd highest point scorer and has played in every game in her BU career. Freshman forward Alex Law was injured part of the season, only playing in 20 games, but tallied 7 points. While this wasn't the Terriers' best season, there is a lot of hope for the future of the BU women's hockey program. With new talent in a soon-to-be renovated Walter Brown Arena, next season will be one to watch. Now let's throw it over to Mason and Henry with the latest on basketball.
Thanks, Caitlin. The Boston University basketball teams have mounted a late rally in the conference standings as they soar into the Patriot League tournament. The men and the women both picked up key wins down the stretch of the regular season to secure top spots in the conference and spark a rebound that seemed almost impossible just a month ago. I'm Mason Jablonsky. That's Henry Dinh-Price. Henry, let's start with the fellas. The men finished their regular season with a 15-16 record, 10-8 in conference play, good for a second-place finish in the Patriot League after winning just 3 of their first 9 conference games and languishing in the bottom half of the standings early on. What's helped the team lead this furious comeback?
Yeah, Mason, it's been truly stunning. Last episode, I was talking about how this team couldn't win consecutive games to save its life. After only winning back-to-back games once this season, BU finished the regular season by ripping off 5 straight victories. It's incredible. Honestly, after stringing together great performances, BU just looked like a different team. A team with belief. A team that's oozing with confidence. The Terriers won back-to-back overtime thrillers, the second of which snapped a 5-game Lehigh winning streak. And the fellows followed that up by dropping a whopping 94 points on senior day against Holy Cross. Seniors Miles Brewster and Anthony Morales said after the game that BU is not done, not even close to done. They believe an NCAA tournament berth is on the horizon, and they will do anything to make it happen. Brewster, a member of the All-Patriot League second team and All-Defensive team, said that making March Madness is everything. It's all he's ever wanted, and it truly could happen. The offense is clicking, the vibes are at an all-time high, and the Terriers have shown that they can go on a win streak. BU has a young team. The Terriers lost their 6 leading scorers from last year, so it was bound to take some time. But BU has found its groove at the perfect time. Everyone has bought into their roles, and Miles Brewster has done an incredible job leading the team. According to Joe Jones, the culture of the program is at an all-time high.
Yeah, absolutely, Henry. The team has had its share of growing pains, but you expect that from a squad that lost so many of its mainstays during the offseason. The fellas needed their non-conference games and that first half of conference play to find their identity, and most importantly, their confidence. I think the best test for a young team like this is how well they can weather the storm, not just during the season as a whole, but during these intense individual games that really test their mettle. Those resounding back-to-back overtime wins prove that this team now more than ever can take a huge hit, adjust, and respond. Take the win against Loyola Maryland as an example. Kai Alexander hit a huge go-ahead 3 with 1 second left in regulation. The Terriers seemed ready to ride down Commonwealth Avenue and off into the sunset with a game winner from the freshman phenom. Then Loyola's Alonzo Faure heaved one from half court to tie the game on a ridiculous buzzer beater after only hitting 6 threes all season long. Henry, that's a gut punch. That's like taking a ball straight to the face, a la James Harden. And yet, the team bounced back in overtime and grabbed a gutsy 3-point win off a tough go-ahead layup from Anthony Morales and Alexander's clutch free throws cool as a cucumber to seal the deal. Heading into the postseason, this is clearly a team with a renewed resolve and a huge chip on its shoulder. And beyond this season, you have to be excited about what this team will bring to the table. The sky is the limit for a player like Kai Alexander, who was named to the All-Patriot League rookie team. Not to mention, Baptiste is just a freshman, and the big men, Landrum and Nobili, are only sophomores. Now, Henry, let's switch gears. The women's basketball team has gone 18-10 overall and 10-7 in conference play, placing them in a three-way tie for first place with 1 game left in the season. Henry, if you had told me a few weeks ago that this team would be contending for a regular season title, I would have looked at you like you were a Magic basketball. Ooh. So Henry, what's helped this team pull off the late rally?
Yeah, Mason, BU's women's team has certainly been on fire, winning 5 of its last 6 games. To talk about this Terrier turnaround, we have to start with the incredible play from freshman guard Ava Gormley. Gormley prides herself on the defensive end, frequently earning Dog of the Game honors for her ability to shut down opposing guards. She plays at the top of BU's full court press and does a great job facilitating at the point guard spot. But Gormley, who averages under 5 points per game, has stepped up in recent weeks to become a legit scoring option for these Terriers. Gormley had a career-high 21 points in a win over Lehigh, scoring 14 in just 3 minutes. She has been so aggressive getting to the rim, which alleviates the weight put on Caitlin Weimer and Alex Giannaros to carry the scoring load. And speaking of a rally, we have to mention BU's 21-point comeback victory over Holy Cross, the defending Patriot League champions, on senior night. BU looked shell-shocked early, falling behind 29-8. Senior guard Kelsey Mingo sustained a serious knee injury in the first quarter. Second leading scorer Alex Giannaros also fouled out with 8 minutes remaining. But the Terriers never gave up. Thanks in large part to 25 points on 10 of 12 shooting from Caitlin Weimer, BU came out on top. The Terriers finished the game on an 11-0 run to complete the comeback, proving that they can match up with anyone in this conference. BU will be a difficult out in March. There's no doubt about that, Mason.
Definitely, Henry. Gormley's play down the stretch has been invaluable in BU's mad dash to the top of the standings. And you can't overstate the leadership of the 2 captains and the pillars of this program, Caitlin Weimer and Alex Giannaros. We've sung Weimer's praises for years, and she has delivered over and over again whenever the clock strikes Weim time. And on top of her thunderous play on the hardwood, where she leads the league in scoring, rebounding, and volleyball swats, Weimer is a stoic presence who leads her teammates by example. Caitlin Weimer is the type of player every school wants at the forefront of their team, and she has left an indelible mark on this program. Alex Giannaros has been right there with her all season long, scorching the net from outside and adding a steady diet of tough takes to the hoop. And speaking of making a mark in the scarlet and white, Giannaros is BU's all-time leader in career three-point percentage with a sizzling 44.8% career mark from downtown. She's another player who the team has looked to as a mentor and a guide, and that growth will pay dividends as the lights grow brighter in the Patriot League tournament. So with that, we wish both squads the best of luck in the postseason. But before we go, we've got one more trick up our sleeves.
Yeah, Mason, last time it was just an ordinary jump shot.
Right.
But I think we need a little bit of extra spice because we are in March. It's Patriot League tournament time.
Oh, that's right. Henry, this is what March is all about, my friend.
Little fadeaway? Little fadeaway action? Oh my God. Oh.
That one's too strong. Off the mark? That's okay, though. With that, James and Lex, we'll throw it back to you.
That'll do it for tonight. We thank you for joining us. Make sure to follow Terrier Nation on Instagram and X for all the latest and juiciest Terrier sports updates on Terrier Nation 10. I'm James Ninneman.
And I'm Lex Gargiulo. From all of us here at Terrier Nation, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.